Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award winning Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, consulting the cards and matters of the heart. It's time for this week's Oracle reveal. So, earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo of three different animals and I asked you to use your intuition and just ask yourself which animal's calling to you because that animal has your message. And the three animals were the Cardinal, the Wolverine, and the Chimpanzee. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal's calling to you because that animal has your message. So, for those of you who picked the cardinal, the card says the polarities of your spiritual pursuits and physical pleasures are out of balance. So, do whatever is necessary to bring them back into equilibrium. And Cardinal is really telling you to look at balance in your life. I've met a lot of people who are quote unquote spiritual people who are so invested in their spirituality that they get loopy. They kind of, get out there. They're not really grounded in reality. They kind of get a little spacey and they float around without really accomplishing a lot. And then I also meet people who are too mundane, too in the details, too in the literal meaning of everything in the world without the inspiration of their spirit. And so, Cardinal can indicate that this is a time to not be one or the other. And if you're noticing that one part of your life right now is dominating the other, the Cardinal could be saying it's time to give voice to that neglected part of yourself. First card for Cardinal is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And we actually get the Queen of Cups. And of all the Cups cards in the tarot, the Queen of Cups holds the most elaborately decorated chalice. And what that can indicate is that she really prizes her feelings, her emotions. She's present with them. And she also cherishes them. And I feel for Cardinal this week, it's not just a week to go through things as a mental exercise or to be disconnected from the present reality, but it's important to feel it. It's important to be in the moment right now and open your emotional awareness up to what's happening around you. I think life is going to have so much more dimension and complexity if you're able to feel it at this time instead of just plowing through. Second card for Cardinal is advice from your inner wisdom. We actually get the Five of Pentacles. Now, traditionally, this is a card of poverty and lack. But for me, the Five of Pentacles can also be a card that does indicate something being depleted. The poverty on the card might not be a financial poverty issue, although it could be. But a lot of times it's something that's emotionally deficient, something that isn't getting enough attention. And right in alignment with that cardinal message that we started out with today, there's a sense that you're needing to pour some energy into that neglected part. So, Five of Pentacles could be asking you, where's the energy waster in your life? What's sucking up all the oxygen? And what is being neglected? That Queen of Cups is a very nurturing archetype. So, this could be a time when you're pouring your own love toward yourself. You're giving yourself that nurturing and that care. It might also be time to stop and be aware of what's been so depleted in your own life and to consciously bring that thing back to you. And then we got the mythic archetype that's going to help you this next week if you pick the cardinal. And we see Artemis, the goddess of the moon. She's the virgin huntress who leaves society to run off in the woods under the moonlight, totally free and uninhibited. And so this could be a time when you're really setting your spirit free if you pick the cardinal. It might be a time to stop conforming to those external pressures or people pleasing. And like Artemis, race towards your own heart's desire. Totally free, independent, doing your own thing. Artemis is also a goddess of nature. And I think that the thing that Cardinal might be neglecting is their own nature. So it's time to stop ignoring that call to get back in touch with that deeper part of yourself and to reacquaint yourself with what makes you most magical and free. Next, we're going to go into the Wolverine spirit. And this card says, you're a lot tougher than you think. And Wolverine is a fighter. And if you're attracted to Wolverine this next week, it could be a time when you want to be more assertive or even more aggressive toward a goal. You might also want to stop a negative self talk, for example, of saying, well, I just can't do that, or I'm not good at that, or that's just not what I can do. Wolverine could say that you might need to push past a self imposed limit that you're placing on yourself and say, I'm uncomfortable. I, don't always like to do this, but I am tougher than I think. I can do this. I can accomplish this. And so I just think it's a time to go for it if you're attracted to the Wolverine this week. First card for Wolverine is where it's best to place your focus this next week, and we see Lady Justice. And unlike Justice at the courthouse, Lady Justice in the tarot is not blindfolded. She's looking straight at you. She looks straight at the truth as well. And justice can really indicate that this is a week to be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish? What do I want to do? And to really put that mental energy toward that. Justice can also indicate that this is a time to be honest with others, to be honest with yourself, especially, and also to be very clear about what will bring balance in your own life. Justice isn't very emotional. Unlike the Queen of Cups who feels everything, Justice is very dispassionate. She's flanked by those gray pillars, which are the color of neutrality. So, this could be a time if you're attracted to Wolverine where a job needs to get done, there's something tough going on, and you need to be neutral about it. And instead of getting in your feelings too much, you really need to just get the job done. Next, we got the advice from your inner wisdom, and we got the happy ending card of the Ten of Cups, which shows the rainbow. And this is saying that a happy ending is assured if you're honest with yourself and decisive, and if you do the thing that it just makes sense to do at this time. Also, the rainbow does imply that you've gone through a storm, but that is a symbol for hope again. And so I just feel for Wolverine, this is going to be a time to really open yourself to new possibilities and hope by being honest and decisive about what needs to be accomplished. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you, look at that, is Zeus, the king of the gods. He also has the eagle on his shoulder, which gives him the higher perspective. And he also bears the lightning bolt, which is a symbol for epiphanies. I just feel like if you make up your mind to accomplish what's in front of you, you will succeed. And then we got the chimpanzee animal spirit. And this card says use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem and get answers to your question. And chimpanzee is known for its intelligence. So there is a sense that you're needing to really trust what you know, but also check that up against your intuition. Your intuition is different from your fear, by the way. Your fear is going to make you feel anxious, tight, nervous. A lot of people confuse their intuition with their anxiety. The intuition instead is deeper than your anxiety. It's clear, it's ready to act. And so I think trusting your feelings, trusting your intuition is going to be so key this next week when it's balanced against the logical approach. First card for chimpanzee is where to place your focus this next week, and we see the Ace of Swords. And this is a card of triumph by force, taking charge. And aces in the tarot are really good to get. They can indicate that there's this new energy that's crackling. Also, the Ace of Swords is a card of reclaiming your power. And I feel like really aligning with your intuition and your intellect, both in harmony with one another, will guide you back towards your power. This is a time to initiate something different. And it's also a card that says that which you've outgrown or that it's time to just get away from, it's time to begin anew. And it's going to happen if you take charge. Second card is advice from your inner wisdom if you pick chimpanzee, and we get the Nine of Cups. And this is a card of wishes and getting your wish, but it's also a card of preparation. The figure is seated before the table. And he's not enjoying the banquet yet, but he's set his table up for success. All his cups are in a row like golden trophies. And I just feel like this is going to be a week where you really want to get everything in order, get all your ducks in a row, and to take the initiative with it. Trust both that intuition and that intellect to accomplish this. And then finally, the mythic archetype that's going to help you this next week is another Olympian, who is Dionysus. He is the god of wine, the vine. He's a god of freedom. And he can indicate that it's time to free yourself from something that's been constricted. Also, when I see the Dionysus figure next to the heavily drunken man on the Nine of Cups, this could be a week where you are enjoying yourself more, where you're letting your hair down. And you're also allowing for some pleasure this next week, especially to celebrate any new beginning, no matter how small it's been, that you've accomplished. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com and schedule a reading with me there. Otherwise, I also have signed copies of Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love on my website, elliotoracle.com. And I will just see you again next week. So do take care.